Longtime Durham College president to step down in 2024. Dan Kearns, The Standard. Durham. Durham College's president Don Lovisa will be stepping down from the role he's held for over 15 years early next year. On Wednesday, May 17th, Mr. Lovisa announced he would not renew his contract, which is set to expire in March of 2024. It has been an honor and a pleasure to serve as president of Durham College and work alongside our talented leadership team, employees, and the Board of Governors, and industry and community partners. Being part of an organization which makes such positive and significant changes that impact our students and our community has been the highlight of my career, Mr. Lovisa said in a statement. I am proud of what we have accomplished together and look forward to watching DC continue to lead the way in the future. In a press release, Durham College, DC, complimented Mr. Lovisa on how his term has seen significant enrollment growth, supported by the introduction of a number of new leading-edge programs driven by community and industry needs, including 5 new honors bachelor's degrees. On campus, Mr. Lovisa spearheaded over $300 million in capital investment projects focused on expansion and modernization of DC's working and learning spaces, including the Student Services Building, Center for Collaborative Education, Energy and Innovation Center, and the expansion of the Whitby campus, including the Ontario Power Generation Center for Skilled Trades and Technology, the W. Galen Weston Center for Food, and the Center for Organic Regeneration. Most recently, the Center for Innovation and Research opened, which houses 4 of Durham College's 6 applied research centers, all of which have opened during Mr. Lovisa's time as president. Durham College's collaborative, innovative, and hard-working culture is a testament to Don Lovisa's energy, passion, and priorities, the press release added. Mr. Lovisa's tenure as president of the local college started in 2008. Local girl beats cancer and wants to give back. Courtney McClure, The Standard. Uxbridge. 5-year-old Alexis Schulte is hosting a fundraiser to celebrate her milestone of beating cancer on Saturday, May 27th, starting at 1 p.m. and ending around 6 p.m. Guests are asked to bring a toy or medical supply donation for the hospitals. They are also welcome to bring a monetary donation toward purchasing new toys or supplies for the hospitals. The fundraiser will be hosted at the Schulte family residence located at 19 Kester Lane in Zephyr, Uxbridge. Alexis will celebrate with her parents Genevieve and Matthew, her grandma, Wendy Schulte, and her little brother, Maverick. We're celebrating a milestone, said Genevieve Schulte, Alexis's mom. Alexis was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 3 years old and had been battling cancer for about 2 years. At Scarborough Health Network, Centenary Hospital, where Alexis received some of her cancer treatment, there was a chest full of toys for the patients. The toy chest was called the Tickle Trunk. Alexis wondered where those toys and other supplies came from. Well, I said to Alexis, it's people like you and me who donate toys, Mrs. Schulte explained to her daughter. So, she said, when she was done with her fight, she wanted to refill the Tickle Trunk. Since she was declared cancer-free, Alexis decided she wanted to donate some toys, Band-Aids, and other needed items to both of the hospitals where she received treatment. Alexis received treatment between Sick Kids Hospital and Scarborough Health Network, Centenary Hospital. POGO stands for Pediatric Oncology Group of Ontario. The clinic provides treatment for children living in Scarborough who have cancer. The clinic works in partnership with Sick Kids, offering chemotherapy as well as a variety of other treatments. Donations of Band-Aids and other medical supplies will be distributed between both hospitals, while the toys will mostly be donated to the Centenary Hospital. Mrs. Schulte said, if they receive an abundance of toy donations, they will likely donate the remaining ones to Sick Kids. Centenary Hospital needs boys' toys like G.I. Joe action figures. However, they, the hospital, already have an abundance of Hot Wheels toy cars. The hospital also accepts gift cards. Gift cards are often given out to older children and teenagers who may not want a toy. So, guests can also bring a Tim Hortons or McDonald's gift card to donate, if they wish. Thank you for everyone's help along our journey, said Mrs. Schulte. She also sends her thanks to all participants who choose to donate toys and supplies toward their fundraiser. She would also like to thank the friends and family who have helped them during Alexis's fight, and to the hospital staff members at both Sick Kids and Centenary. DDSB trustees vote to defer changes to presentation. Dan Kearns, The Standard. Durham. The Durham District School Board, DDSB, of Trustees has voted to defer proposed bylaw changes which would regulate conversation in the public question period and presentations to the board, back to the Governance and Policy Committee. At a meeting on Monday, May 15th, trustees saw a number of proposed changes to the consolidated bylaws. In the early portions of trustee meetings, the board allows members of the public to come to the podium and ask up to 2 questions each about school board-related issues. Some of the proposed changes to the presentation rules at the board's standing committee meetings included having the chair of the meeting determine whether the issue or matter is within the scope of the board, making sure the presentation is in line with the board's commitment to the Ontario Human Rights Code, the board's human rights policy and procedures, and the Indigenous education policy and procedures, and making sure the presentation would allow the committee sufficient time to conduct their business. A proposed change to the rules for the question period was similar in that the board would not entertain questions which are contrary to the board's commitment to the Ontario Human Rights Code, the board's human rights policy, or the Indigenous education policy and procedures. Oshawa trustee Linda Stone called these conversations a slippery slope. "We are already sliding down this slope," she said. "Our board should be seeking good questions and open discussion around difficult topics." Trustee Stone's first motion to table the conversation was defeated. When an issue is tabled, it is effectively deferred, but there is no discussion on the topic until a trustee makes a new motion to untable it, and there is no set date for the issue to be discussed again. Trustee Stone then put forth a new motion to defer portions of the bylaw back to the Governance and Policy Committee. Pickering trustee Stephen Linton agreed with taking this avenue. "This is a vote for not just our term, but this is a vote for the future," he explained. Trustee Linton later added he was not comfortable making a decision now. Student trustee Ben Cameron argued trustees have had enough time already to discuss this issue. "This has been in front of trustees for over 2 months now," he said. The student trustee added with this issue remaining unresolved, there are opportunities for presenters to use dehumanizing language. Oshawa trustee Shailene Panelo stated, "A motion to defer is just wasting time, unless trustees provide input to the committee on what they would like to see changed about these amendments." But Whitby trustee Christine Thatcher explained the deferral will allow the committee to make sure we have appropriate wording here. At this meeting's question period, the meeting had to be recessed twice, as the crowd reacted loudly to answers staff members provided the public. The Durham chapter of the Elementary Teachers Foundation of Ontario and the Ontario Secondary School Teachers Federation District 13 put out a joint statement on Wednesday, May 17th, calling what happened at that meeting concerning. The 2 unions added in the statement, they condemn all acts of hatred and are deeply concerned about the safety and well-being of marginalized members of our school communities. The 2 unions demanded violence and hate not be tolerated in any setting, including school board meetings.
Welcome to You've Got to Be Kidding, a podcast that offers a different perspective of life around us. Listen now to author Jonathan Van Bilsen.
Exercising, one of the simplest tasks to initiate, is often the most difficult to stick with. Over the years, I've tried several fitness clubs, running, treadmill in the basement, and watching Jane Fonda videos. Nothing seems to work for me except riding a bicycle. My bike is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year, and I'm happy to say it's never let me down, both mechanically and in willingness to take me for a ride, literally. I remember it being a steep investment at the time, but as I mentioned, it served me well. I've been biking several times a week for the last 20 plus years, weather permitting of course, and 5 years ago hooked up with a couple of fellows around my age. We do a short 20-kilometer circuit 2 mornings a week, and I must admit I enjoy it as much today as I did when I first started pedaling. Over the years I've biked in a few bike-a-thons as well as a grueling trek from Niagara Falls to Niagara-on-Lake and back. Now in my slower years, I'm quite happy to stick to the 20K, which takes about 45 minutes to an hour. We start at 7:45, take a route that heads north, then east, then down along the lake, The early morning scenery is spectacular, and even last week, when it was -1 degree, it was invigorating, albeit a bit chilly. The energy we burn is not mind-blowing, but we seem to shed around 800 calories during a ride, which is about the same as one piece of chocolate cake, but the cardio workout is great. Surprisingly, I feel good at the accomplishment, and I burn about twice the calories as I do in an hour of pickleball, which I also enjoy. Probably my favorite element of the trek is the camaraderie with the 3 other guys. I'm amazed at how we seem to solve the world's problems and find solutions to every political aspect in existence. If only we had the power to rule the world. Until then, however, we'll just pedal along and enjoy life as we experience it. I'm Jonathan Van Bilsen, and this is You've Got to Be Kidding.
Comicon comes to Port Perry. Todd Green, The Standard. Scugog. Last Saturday, Port Perry hosted a Comicon show at the Scugog Recreational Community Centre from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The show saw approximately 70 vendors and about 520 attendees. People of all ages were milling about, fascinated with the items available related to their favorite comic genre or character. The front hallway was lined with framed, realistically constructed bugs, animated related socks, and amigurumi knitted plushies. Various video games and paraphernalia abounded, including old movie signs, license plates, badges, and old commercial posters, which could be used for movie sets, as well as PB&J comics and collectibles from Kawartha Lakes. Artists of all levels of experience attended. Some showed their works for the first time, and others have decades of interrelated experience across many animation styles and other media art platforms. One such artist, named Sean Hardy, was creating his own homemade chainmail jewelry, accessories, and art. His chainmail vests and armor have appeared in Middle Age period features for the screen. There were sword replica sellers, safe materials only, and figurines of all types of characters, from 1 inch to much larger, painted in great detail. Graphic novel and character design artists had work on display. New to the scene was Preston Squire, introducing his series Brute, whose tagline is, "What if the toughest guy in the universe looked like a teddy bear?" Next was Ryan Poirier, showcasing his herd and farm freaks from his independent publication house called Accidental Creations. Plus, there was Rusty Leon, a 9-year-old boy with his personally done Catman comic and Rusty comic books. Kapow Comics was there, with the artist Brant Maudsley, along with the varied hero and heroine creations. Brant was producing caricatures upon request for a small fee. Then there was the artist and coffee addict from Mad Monkey Love. This artist, Locke Nguyen, has been working cross-platform in the creative media industry for over 30 years. His experience spans from before computers were used for special effects and many production houses ran on duct tape and gusto to today. After the staple in the industry became computer-generated art, he kept in step and transferred his generous and varied art skills to the digital tablet. Everything from character concept art and storyboarding, working with Disney on Little Mermaid and Mattel on Barbie, to MGA for Vinvetti Universal Games. Among his fan art and personal illustration, he has created a character for a small handout comic book featuring Sergeant Alex Lee. This free gift to the public is called Goose, a promotion for MAD, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. He was both relaxed and enthusiastic about art and life. It was a treasure trove talking with this gentleman. "It's like my therapy. I have to draw and get it out," he said with a satisfied smile. The organizer of this event was David Wildstar from Pop Culture Canada. The event was free with a suggested donation to Operation Scugog Food Bank. His booth was front and center, covered with collectible items to be raffled off in exchange for food bank donations. In addition, there were wrestling masks available for purchase, as he works to promote local wrestling events. Up-and-coming events will be this autumn in Lindsay and the surrounding area. International Plowing Match and Rural Expo coming to Kawartha Lakes in 2024. Dan Kearns, The Standard. Kawartha Lakes. The International Plowing Match and Rural Expo is coming to Lindsay in 2024. At a meeting on Tuesday, May 9th, Bob Armstrong and Kathy Lasby made a presentation to council members regarding the event. The event will be held on the Lindsay Exhibition Grounds in early October 2024, with event organizers hoping to see over 80,000 people attend. The event was going to be held in Lindsay in 2020, but it had to be postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the website for the 2023 International Plowing Match and Rural Expo, the event is a 5-day celebration of agriculture and rural living, involving plowing competitions, a range of activities for people of all ages, numerous opportunities to learn about agriculture, near constant live entertainment in multiple match venues, hundreds of vendors and exhibitors, large and small equipment, lifestyle items, and much more, and a wide variety of food. We are delighted to be back. We've got our logo brought up to date. We've got our dates set from October 1st to October 5th, 2024, and are certainly pleased to bring the 105th plowing match to your community, Ms. Lasby said. Ms. Lasby called this event the largest event of its kind, and said it is one of 2 events in the farm and rural community that moves from location to location each year. She noted this event brings a strong financial foundation and stated it will be a family-friendly, safe, clean event. The plowing competition itself will see horse plowing, tractor plowing, antique plowing, and modern plowing. Mr. Armstrong stressed this is a community-building event. People from our city will meet other residents for the first time and develop friendships and business associations which will last a lifetime, he said. He then added there will be a tourism benefit to having roughly 80,000 visitors in the area as well. They are going to spend money in our restaurants, our hotels, our service stations, and our retail outlets, and purchase souvenirs and products to take home for themselves and their families. He noted local charities and service groups will benefit from the proceeds of the event.
You've Got to Be Kidding was presented by Expo Media with permission from the Standard Media Group. We endeavor to make all information contained in this program as accurate as possible at production time. Expo Media and the Standard Media Group are not responsible for any liabilities resulting from information contained in this program. For more information, please visit expomedia.ca.
The Standard Podcast was produced by Greenstream Studio for the Standard newspaper.